I think you got this, girlfriend. I don't think you need anybody else. The more people you wait on, the longer things take. Go for yourself. Go for your goals. Dream big. Do it. Peace out. Wait, are you recording? Like, is this live?
No.
Oh. Okay.
All right. It's funny because years ago, like in 2016, 2017, I wanted this to be a very big business. I kind of wrote down everything that I wanted, like camera guy, the gaffer, the lighting, all the crew and everything. This was like summer 2017 I was doing this. And yeah, my goals and my hope was to make it very big. But now I don't want it as big anymore because now that I've been very exposed on social media, I realize that there are many entrepreneurs out there. There's many, people running the business solo. So it just inspired me to just be myself and that I could be myself completely and use the talent that God gave me to do this. So, I mean, it doesn't mean that I don't want any help at all because obviously I need more help. I would like to get my films out there more in the world. I'm thinking of Amazon for now because DVDs aren't they're kind of obsolete now. So I believe Amazon is like the next streaming place. So I would like to have like a camera person, like somebody like a video camera, videographer, editor, just like a couple people. That's it. So not as big as I wanted it originally, but I still will need some assistance. Was that when I was doing the live?
I don't know if you did a live in that. I do remember making the t-shirt, and I also remember the 55 signs, which was a nice one. And what was that, in 2015?
16 or 17 when we were taking the pictures?
I can't remember when it was, but those were some good days when you were living in Florida. And
we did a lot of videotaping. A lot of it I think I didn't even end up using. Like we were trying to record for some documentary. We never, I didn't like how it looked, I guess. I don't know.
You know what, really reflecting on what happened, do you remember when we did the craft fair at the clubhouse?
Yeah.
That one night, and people were so amazed that you did a 55 Signs documentary basically free.
Dream Scenes. In the making, 10 years now. Congratulations. Come a long way. I remember the first time Nicolette told me about it. I was pretty excited, and I didn't realize how big it was going to be. I knew she had a lot of hard work ahead of her. But when the first documentary, 55 Signs, came out, I was so impressed. I remember making it. She wanted to videotape me. We all had to give testimonies. I was finding my friends, co-workers. It was fun. It was really fun. And when the final thing came together, when it all came together, I was like, wow, I was so impressed. And ever since then, she's just been making lots of documentaries. Nicolette's fabulous. The way she had us going all over the place, doing things. All the memories of making this was really fun. She's a very talented young lady.
Because you're gonna say all her memories were in Florida. That's what I was thinking.
It's like, okay, well, my memory, since I can't talk about Florida, it's taboo. My memory is, remember the Christmas I was here in, what was it, 2014 or 2016, somewhere around there? When we did the video when I was up on the ladder. I think that was the introduction.
Yeah,
to
we were just
55
talking
Cent.
about that.
We are just going to pretend we were not talking about it. I'm doing that part over.
Oh, I remember one. I thought it was funny when we were doing. You weren't there. You were at work, but we were doing the introduction for 55 Signs, and we were trying to record like right here. We like put a sheet over this couch. Well, it wasn't this couch. We had another couch. And remember, it was like a blue, like a navy, like because you wanted.
How could I remember?
I'm not talking about the carpet. I said the couch.
No, you said I was at work, so I can't remember.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I
we were-
remember when you were down in Florida.
Well, I'm talking about we were here. I said it was the first memory
I
of
wasn't
recording.
here, so-
Yes, you were here. It was
I
the beginning
was?
of
Christmas.
2014. Yes.
It was
You
Christmas.
came for
time,
Christmas. It was after Christmas, like 2014.
maybe.
Remember
You
that
sat at
time
the
when I was
table,
so
you did the
cold?
whole thing. Then I did one. We took pictures by the Christmas tree.
All right. Well, she was standing on a ladder, like over here with the TVs.
Is that when I fell?
No,
Oh.
but it was funny because you had the iPad. You were trying to use my iPad and get me
I
an
remember
angle,
that.
and it was funny because I kept thinking if you would fall down.
It's true. That was the introduction.
Because you wanted to get me at an angle and not make it look like it was the couch.
Yeah.
And it was just funny. I couldn't record seriously. I kept
I
laughing.
remember that. That was in the beginning of, what was it? Wasn't 55 Signs?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like January 2014.
I remember that.
Okay. Are you on? I doesn't say anything. Is it coming up?
You're live.
Is that so? Okay. I can't even see that you're watching. All right. Hello, everyone, and thank you for coming to my first live video stream from DreamSeen Productions. My name is Nicolette DiCarlo, and I am 22 years old. I'm going to first give you a brief outline of what I'm going to talk about today. First, I'm just going to talk briefly about 55 Signs, which is the Christian documentary that I've created, and then talk a little bit about DreamSeen Productions, which is the Facebook page that I have now that will be discussing these documentaries. For the next few months, I'll be elaborating on what these documentaries are about. But for now, I'm just going to talk briefly about 55 Signs. So, any questions and comments? God also, the reason why I ended up doing everything myself was because He wanted to show me that how all these things are possible when you just have to call on Him, and when He has something for you, nothing is going to break it. So many times I've tried to run from the thought and from what God wanted me to do. As I said, I was going through like a very difficult time, and I just kept questioning over and over, why me, God? Why did you call me to do this when I was going through such turmoil and all these hot, difficult experiences in my life? I stopped going to school. I had limited contact with my friends just because I was so focused on one thing. I didn't realize the great things that He was going to do for me.
So, like, with Ashley and I think
If you've seen my documentary, 55 Signs, she was in there with her mom.
yes.
And she's also going to be in this one, and hopefully many others as well. But how do you honestly feel about doing this?
That just Ashley over here, if you're wondering.
Hi, guys.
But yeah, so like with
months, even probably a year if I could, without TV, and it wouldn't bother me that much. So I started to wonder, I'm not that much into film like viewing, watching all these great TV shows and movies, but I enjoy doing these projects, working on any type of film. And then I think that the reason why was because I've had this passion for writing, which I still do. I'll admit it's not as big as I thought it was, as it was when I was younger. But I feel like the main basis of this all is storytelling. And I really enjoy telling stories, things that happened in the past. I like explaining things to people, giving you more information about a certain topic. So I feel like this is my new way of doing it, since I'm not as passionate with writing, even though I still am. This is like my new way of telling stories through videos. And even though I may not be a big TV fan, I still enjoy the process of storytelling. Attempts to grab our attention. If you answered yes to any of these questions, then this channel is for you. So make sure you subscribe and hit that bell right now so you'll be notified of every time I post. As of right now, I would like to create mini docu-series being released every 2 Saturdays starting June 15 at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I would love to help you with your walk with God starting today. Have a wonderful day and God bless you. Excited. It doesn't even feel real. It probably won't feel real till I get a copy. I am so excited. It's official now. I'm a first-time author. Thank you guys so much for those of you who expressed interest in what I've been doing, and hopefully this is just the beginning of what God has in store for me. God. What made me accept this challenge from God was, first of all, that it was from God. I believe that anything that God gives you is always very big and it could be challenging. So just knowing that fact made me want to accept it. I like to take on the challenge of new, exciting, and big things. And I believe that I'm capable of it. So the thing is, I don't believe that I'm qualified to do what I'm doing. Many people may be surprised to hear that because I seem to come on here with such confidence and boldness and assertiveness and with such consistency, but I really don't feel qualified. I have thoughts that I know I shouldn't. I do things that I know I shouldn't. I say things that I know I shouldn't. I've never studied the Bible or went to film school or anything regarding social media management or with running a business. None of those things of those matters I have any experience with. But what makes me feel any bit qualified, even if it's just a little bit, is that God, because when He calls and chooses someone to do something, you automatically are qualified in His eyes. So that's all I have to keep reminding myself. I may not be qualified to the world, but I am qualified in God's eyes. So if God didn't choose me to do this, what would I be doing now? That's a very interesting question. I've never given it any thought at all. And it's kind of difficult. When I first thought of it, I thought it was difficult to think about and come up with an answer because, it's hard to think what my younger self, what my past self would have done. I can't imagine what the past 10 years wouldn't have been like if God didn't choose me to do this. I mean, I know I had my goals, my ambitions, such as I wanted to be a teacher, and I don't know if I would have still been doing that. But what's also interesting was that many of my passions, both past and present, kind of fall into what God has called me to do. And what I mean by that is that I've always had an interest, or at least for over a decade, I've had an interest of film editing. Since I was a child, I've always liked to write books, or just to write in general, like free write. And I've always loved dancing, acting, and singing. I'm taking lessons right now to improve my expertise in these areas. And it's just interesting because I feel like everything that I've had an interest in over the years, and even new things that I'm starting to become interested in, such as public speaking, God is incorporating it all into my films. So I know that, number one, I know that God, when he calls you to do something, he knows that you're going to enjoy doing whatever it is that he's called you to do. But at the same time, I believe that he already knows what your likes, passions, and interests are. So back to the original question, what would I be doing? I feel like I would still be doing something in this area because God has called me to do this, and I'm just incorporating everything. If that makes sense. Do I ever feel overwhelmed by what God has called me to do? And if so, what do I do about it? So I'm sure many of you have this question because I've been asked it in the past a number of times. And yes, I definitely do feel overwhelmed a lot of time. And sometimes it overwhelms me to the point that I wonder, why am I doing this? But I feel like that was more in the past. It's kind of interesting because now that I'm older and I've been doing this for longer, I feel like me being overwhelmed actually encourages me more to not give up. So it kind of motivates me when I'm feeling overwhelmed because I want to, overcome the feeling of being overwhelmed. But if I ever do feel overwhelmed to the point where I'm just like, I can't work on this anymore because there's other points in my life that there's other, parts of my life that needs attention, I just simply stop, try to stop doing everything, put my phone down. But to be honest, I feel like I'm so energized by being productive that I can't put my phone down and stop sharing what God has called me to do because it just energizes me more. But as I said before, if I feel like I seriously need a break, I've recently been thinking, I feel like what really energizes me more is to look back on how far I've come. So when I'm feeling overwhelmed, if I feel like I'm stuck with a documentary, or I feel like God has given me so many journal ideas and I don't feel like writing it down now, or I feel like I'm not getting enough interest on my social media, what I always do is look back on my social media, on Instagram, on YouTube, see where I was 5-10 years from ago, and just seeing how far I've come actually gives me rest. It may sound a little like counterintuitive, if that's the word, but that's how I feel. So this just energizes me, and it's hard to get away.